Welcome to Share My Lesson. In this video, we will be looking at the 2023 Junior Division Australian Mathematics Competition Solutions. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and check out my blog for more information. Let's proceed to the solutions. The paving is a 6x6 square with 8 pavers removed, 4 from the center and 1 from each corner. This means that there is a total of 36 minus 8, which are 28 pavers. This means that the answer is A. These expressions have the values as follows. The expression with the smallest value is 3 minus 2, which is 1. This means that the answer is B. The cards shown add up to 19. This means that 21 minus 19, which is 2, has to be the number on the hidden card. So the answer is A. The angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. This means that 2x plus 80 is equal to 180. We can solve this equation to find that x is equal to 50. This means that the answer is A. The open time is A50. The time it takes for A50 to reach 2:50 p.m. is 6 hours. The time it takes for 2:50 p.m. to get to 3:10 p.m., which is the closing time, is another 20 minutes. This means it takes a total of 6 hours and 20 minutes for the shop to close. So the answer is B. We can evaluate the numerator, which is equal to 9, and we can evaluate the denominator, which is equal to 24. We can simplify this fraction into 3/8. This means that the answer is C. Since 1 meter is equal to 4 by 25 centimeters and 50 centimeters is equal to 2 by 25 centimeters, the rectangle can be divided into 4 squares horizontally and 2 vertically, for a total of 4 multiplied by 2, which are 8 squares. This means that the answer is E. On the 10th of May, the tank had 12 kiloliters. On the 30th of May, the tank had 44 kiloliters. The increase was 44 minus 12, which is 32 kiloliters. This means that the answer is A. We can write an equation where the ages of each of the three people are A, B, and C. This means that A plus B plus C is equal to 32. In 3 years, the value of A will gain 3, the value of B will increase by 3, and the value of C will increase by 3. There's a total increase of 9. This means that the previous total of 32 goes to 41. So the total will then be 41 years, which means that the answer is D. To find the area of a parallelogram, we have to multiply the base by its height, which is measured by a perpendicular line. PQ, which is the base, is 10 centimeters, which means that the height is 6 centimeters. The only perpendicular line in the diagram is PT, which means that the answer is D. Let the scenic root be equal to x and the direct root be equal to y. We can write an equation for x based on the question. X is equal to y plus 5. From this, we get that x minus y is equal to 5. Also, we know that x plus y is equal to 35. If we add equations 1 and 2, we get that 2x is equal to 40 and x is equal to 20. This means that y is equal to 35 minus 20, which is 15. So the answer is C. The digits 1 and 5 cannot be in the hidden number, and the second digit has to be 2. There is a 3 in the number, but neither the second nor the third digits are 3, which means that the first digit is 3. So far, the number is 3, 2, but we don't know the third digit. The last digit can't be 1, 3, or 5. The other 7 choices for the last digit are 0, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All of these are possible, which means that there's a total of 7 possibilities. So the answer is C. The 3 numbers from the 3 sides add up to 128. In this total, each of the 3 corner numbers is counted twice. So the sum of the end numbers is 128 divided by 2, which is 64. This means that the answer is D. When the tank is 40% empty, it is 60% full. When 40 liters are removed, it is 40% full. This means that 40 liters is 20% of the entire tank, or 1/5. So the whole tank has 5 multiplied by 40, which is 200 liters of water, which means that the answer is D. Let's add up the total of the 8 visible sides. The green dice on the left has one more face that contributes to the sum. Since 2 and 4 are showing, the third face could be a 6. The yellow dice on the right also has one more face that contributes. Since 5 and 6 are already showing, the third face is at most 4. The blue dice at the back is showing a 1. This means that 6 is on the bottom and doesn't contribute to the sum. But 4 and 5 are available. So the hidden faces at most have a sum of 19, and the total is at most 46. This means that the answer is B. For one clock to be out by 3 minutes, possible times are found by adding or subtracting 3 minutes from the given time. In a similar way, for another clock to be out by 7 minutes, we can find the possible times by adding or subtracting 7 minutes from the given times. Only 9:57 and 10:07 are common to this list. However, clock E shows 10:07, so this can't be the actual time. This means that the time has to be 9:57, and the closest clock to this is 9:58, which means that the answer is B. When the multiples of 7 are written out, we see that the ones digit repeats every 10 numbers. When the multiples of 7 up to 490 are written out, each possible ones digit appears the same amount of times. There's only one more multiple of 7 that is less than 500, which is 497. Therefore, 7 appears the largest number of times as the ones digit. This means that the answer is C. The total area of this rectangular flag is equal to 6 multiplied by 4, which is 24. The area of the first shaded triangle is equal to 6. The area of the next shaded triangle is equal to 4. And the area of the third shaded triangle is equal to 4. The total shaded area is equal to 6 plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to 14. This means that the ratio of the shaded flag is equal to 14 divided by 24, which can be simplified to 7/12. This means that the answer is E. We can test the different possibilities, but we find that the only complete path is 985607314, as shown in the drawing. This means that the answer is A. Let Y be a number of gold balloons at the end. Then the number of blue balloons will be 5Y at the end. This means that there were at least 3 multiplied by 5Y, which are 15Y gold balloons at the beginning, and at least 20Y all balloons in total. Then the least number of balloons can be achieved for Y is equal to 1, which gives 20 balloons. This means that the answer is B. Let the digit be equal to X. This means that the difference between the two answers is the difference between 63 times a digit and 36 times a digit, which is equal to 27 times a digit. We can write an equation using this information. This gives that X is equal to 189 divided by 27, which can be simplified to 7. The correct multiplication would then be 7 multiplied by 36, which gives 252, which means that the answer is D. The numbers from 1 to 12 have a sum of 78. Let the constant be c. If we combine all 5 squares into one sum, the numbers around the middle square will be counted 3 times, as each vertex is on 3 different squares. This means that 78 plus 2c is equal to 5c. We can solve this to find that c is equal to 26. This means that the answer is A. In the 100 seconds between passing the 2 markers, Anne completes 1/3 minus 1/4, which is equal to 1/12 of the course. This means that she takes 12 multiplied by 100, which is 1,200 seconds to complete her part of the run. This is equivalent to 20 minutes, which means that the answer is B. If the code has the 4 sevens in the middle, the first and the last digits have to be the same. In total, there are 10 such codes. If the 4 sevens are at the start of the code, the last 2 digits must add up to 14. The possibilities for this are 59, 68, 77, 86, or 95. Since 777777 was already found in the first case, we can cross out 77. In a similar way, there are 4 additional codes that end in 4 sevens. Altogether, there are 10 plus 4 plus 4, which are 18 codes that give Jas both the seeker level and the bonus, which means that the answer is B. The top phrase is correct in all 5 answers, so we don't have to think about it. Taking each answer logically, we find that A and M are up the same way on the left dice, and only the upside down A and M has them up the same way on the right reflection. The only answer that matches this description is E, which means that the answer is E. You start with a number that is a multiple of 10. We can write this as 10x. Then you subtract this by a multiple of 9. We can write this as 9t. We can then write an equation where 10x minus 9t is equal to 5,347. We can rearrange this equation to write an equation for x. 5,347 plus 9t must end with a 0, and 9t has to be less than 100. The only value of 9t that satisfies this is if 9t is equal to 63. This gives that x is equal to 541, which means that the answer is 541. Using the information from the question, we can write an equation, which we can simplify to find I. Using the question once again, we can write another equation, which cancels out to give an equation for E. Then we can write an equation for Amelia. Our goal is to find the maximum value of Amelia. To do this, we first have to substitute the equations for I and E into Amelia. This simplifies to 2 multiplied by E plus I. Since E plus I is at most 8 plus 9, which is 17, Amelia is at most 34. This means that the answer is 34. Using trial and error, we find that the maximum number of intersections, as shown in the diagram, is 27. Using trial and error once again, we find that the minimum number of intersections, as shown in the diagram, is 13. We multiply 27 and 13 together to get a product of 351, which means that the answer is 351. Let the 10th digit of the number be x and the 1st digit be y. This means that 10x plus y is equal to 4 multiplied by x plus y plus 3. We can simplify and rearrange this equation to find a rule for y. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. We can then prepare a table showing the values of x for the values of y. As you can see, the possible numbers are 11, 23, 35, 47, and 59. However, when you divide the number by the sum of its digit, the remainder has to be 3. We can now find the remainders. By finding the remainders, we find out that 11 cannot be a possibility because there's a remainder of 1 and the remainder has to be a 3. However, the other numbers can be a possibility. We then add them up to get a sum of 164. This means that the answer is 164. The digits and numbers that Sandra likes are 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. This means that she likes a total of 6 to the power 4, which is 1,296 numbers. For Donna to like a number, the sum of the digits cannot be divisible by 3 due to the divisibility rule. This means that when the number is divided by 3, the remainder has to be 1 or 2. Since all the digits have remainder 1 or 2 when divided by 3, we can reform each Sandra numbers by replacing each digit with the remainder and dividing it by 3. Which means that the number 1,245 will become 1,212. This reformation does not change the remainder on division by 3. For example, 1,245 and 1,212 both have the same remainder when dividing by 3. They're 2 to the power 4, which have 16 different reformed numbers. And each reformed number has 3 to the power 4, 81 of Stranger's numbers that reform to it. Also, the remainder on dividing a reformed number by 3 depends only on how many ones it has. So we can classify this by how many ones are in the 16 reformed numbers. We can make a table as follows. From this table, the number of Sandra numbers, or S, that Donna likes can be calculated by subtracting 486 by 1,296, which gives 810, which means that the answer is 810. We have now completed the solutions to the 2023 Australian Mathematics Competition Junior Division. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and share this video with anyone else you would think would benefit from it.